trouble in your mind? Are you doing this just to test me? I'm bad at handling this type of thing. But I don't get it, you say it's a man thing. Babe, I wanna be around. I just wanna make your heart sing. But you're not letting me get through to you. If you let your guard down, baby, this is what I'll do. I'll do. Come on, baby. Love you, I will love you, I will love you like a queen. I will take you to a place you've never been. Love you, I will love you, I will love you like a queen. I would love to take you to a place you've never been. What is trouble in your mind? Baby, why can't you just tell me? I just wanna be your bride. Wanna be. I wanna give our love wings. You're not letting me, get through to you. Yeah. If you let your guard down, baby, this is what I'll do. I'll do. Love you, I will love you, I will love you like a queen. I would love to take you to a place you've never been. Love you, I will love you, I will love you like a queen. I would love to take you to a place you've never been before.
Today is going to be a very, very special show. I want to make sure that my guests are able to get back into the back office. Let me check and see. Yes, okay. Yes, she's in the back office. Okay. And we're going to wait on my other guests to join me this morning. But ladies, we are in for a real treat today. We are in for a very, very good treat today. Today is going to be a little different, and it's going to be very, very powerful. I've invited a group of incredible ladies to join me for a real conversation about our weight loss journeys. Each of us have walked a unique path from keto to ketovore to carnivore, fasting, up to GLP-1s, medications. And we're here to share what has worked, what hasn't worked, and what we have learned along the way. Now, what we're going to talk about is not about perfection. It's about progress. It's about compassion. And it's about honesty. Let's see. M. Ray says, hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. I'm excited about this panel today. Okay, let me go ahead and bring M. Ray in. She is in the back office. She has been on a weight loss journey for a while also. Like I said, we're going to be having real talk with friends. And I'm having real talk with friends who get it. People who are on a weight loss journey like I am. We have struggles. We have different things that we have to go through. But then we've made it through. Some of us, we've made it through. Some of us have reached our goals, and some of us are still working on our goals. So Make sure get yourself a seat if you want to have you something to eat, something to drink, and we're going to go ahead and get ready to dive in to this episode today. Let me go ahead and bring Emre on.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, how you doing today, Emre?
I'm good.
That's good. That's good. And you excited about this as I am today?
I am. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
If my I hope that I have everything set up because things were my camera was messing up and everything yesterday, but it looks like everything's gonna be okay. So I hope so.
Okay.
All right. So we're gonna be talking about our weight loss journeys and just sharing different things that we have went through that has worked for us and that has not worked for us. I'm gonna let you go ahead, M. Ray. Let's see
Okay.
if let me see if Queen is here yet. Soon as low carb Queen gets to, I know she was exercising, I believe, next with Stephanie. So that's probably what she's doing. So
Okay.
go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself, your weight loss journey, because you have done a fantastic job. You keep
Thank
me
you.
going.
Thank you. We motivate each other. Okay, guys, I'm going to share something with you guys that I haven't shared with many people don't know, not even my accountability partner. So, by the way, I'm M. Ray. Thank you so much for having me on your panel today, Keto Granny.
Of
So,
course.
guys, back in 2007, I had weight loss surgery. I was 301 pounds, 301. So, I lost a total of 180 pounds. And from May of 2007 to May of, well, at my 1 year mark, I had lost 100 pounds, a little over 100, maybe 110 pounds. And within the next 6 months, in 2008, I had lost, like I said, 180 pounds. I was down to like 121. My lowest is 118. And I was looking like a crackhead. Now,
Okay.
I don't have the pictures to show you, but I can show you this one once I reach my original. I think maybe I was like 140 in this picture. Hold on. I
I,
don't know. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I did not know you weighed all the way up to 301 pounds.
I don't know if you can see this because of the sun, but that's me. After I lost, I think I was about 140 in this picture.
Okay. Okay.
And I kept my weight off, no problem. I kept my weight off up until 2019 or so. I started gaining weight. And then when the pandemic hit, I got all the way up to I think 191. And then I lost a couple of pounds. And ever since then, I was always 188. I think that was my set point, 188. I would go up. One time I even hit 200, but I knew that was water weight. And the next day I was back down into like 198. But I would never get up that high. It was probably whatever I ate. So my set point over the time that I met Keto Granny was just in the high 180s, like 188 and up to 192 or something like that. I just couldn't shake it. I mean, I did everything. I'm an intermittent faster. So that's one thing that's constant in my life is intermittent fasting. It's constant in my life. That and walking. And even if I fall off of keto for one day, I do what Keto Granny says, make your next meal keto. So I never, fell off and just ate and ate and ate. and continue the cycle. I would just make my next meal keto. But I couldn't get my weight down. I just couldn't because my husband is more vegan, or he eats like a lot of, like now we're in the summer. This morning I had watermelon.
That's your downfall is that watermelon. You smell that watermelon and you love watermelon. I know. I know. Hi,
Yesterday.
Queen. Welcome in, low
Hi.
carb Queen.
Thank you. Hi. My apologies. My apologies.
That's okay. I knew you were exercising this morning too. I thought with Stephanie.
Yeah.
Hey, low carb queen, how are
Great.
you?
I'm great. How are you? So glad
I'm
to see
good.
you.
Nice to see you too. So I'm gonna continue. Okay, so the fresh vegetables in the summertime, fruit in the summertime is my downfall. But I'm still able to maintain my weight because if I eat it, then I just continue the day with like a carnivore or something like that. But in the summertime, I even expressed that to Keto Granny when we were coming into the summer that I'll probably be more low carb because of the fruit. I want to enjoy seasonal fruit.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's what I did. And I've gained weight. My lowest was 128. Now Monday morning I was 140. Now I'm this morning I got on the scale, I'm 136. So
Okay,
it's
still
coming,
going down. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's coming
Wow.
off. But what I wanted to say, the catalyst to this weight loss it took me the whole year. I started in 2004, guys, and I keep a journal. And this is what I do. You can see my journal, me and Keto Granny,
You do. Yep.
our steps. And I think for that month, I did 330 steps, 330,000 steps in that
Wow.
month. But my one constant is intermittent fasting, walking, and my diet.
Those
Even
are the main
though,
things.
I don't do it correctly, but I stay whole foods. I don't eat packaged foods like the Quest and all like that. The little snacks. I had to eliminate it. Just in order for me to maintain my weight over all those years, I had to eliminate it because it was my downfall. I was on that hamster wheel. Now, the catalyst in 2004, May of 2004, I was tired. I was fed up. It was like I wasn't getting anywhere. I was doing all the things, but not all I was doing was maintaining my weight. Now, if I did an extended fast, yeah, I could lose 21 pounds in 7 days, but I couldn't maintain it because I wanted to eat certain things. So the inflammation and all like that. Y'all, I'm out here in the sun and I'm sweating. Sorry.
That's all right.
But so I decided to give the GLP-1 a try. I was on it for 5 weeks and I had to stop because I was having hypoglycemia episodes. I was falling out. My
Wow.
blood my blood glucose was going too low. So I had to stop. But in those 5 weeks, I lost 30 pounds. So it just motivated me. And when I stopped, I just did, I think we did a couple of rounds of ADF 1 month.
Right. We did. We did ADF.
I did ADF. The thing for me, if I really want to lose weight, is fasting, guys. I just have to be honest. It's the fasting.
Mm-hmm.
And my diet, keeping my diet clean. If I kept my diet clean and leave the fruit out, then I'm golden. But when I include the fruit, and keto is not forgiving
No.
with sugars and grains and stuff, it's not forgiving. So once you include those things, then the inflammation comes. So, and that's what I had to accept about my dieting. Did I want the weight loss, or did I want the health benefits that came along with keto? And the health benefits for me was no inflammation. Look, guys, I my hands used to be like that. I couldn't even make a fist. Now you see that, no problem. I couldn't do that. Um, or any other diet, I just couldn't do it. I couldn't get that inflammation off of me. I wake up, my legs don't, crick and creak.
Crap. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Like they used
no,
to.
yeah, I don't have none of that. I don't, I could move everything freely. And so to me, it's not just weight loss, it's overall health. And that's why keto or ketovore will always be my way of of eating. And intermittent fasting will always be in my life because I cannot maintain my weight without it. I just can't. I
Right.
can't. And then the walking is always going to be a part of my life. I have a treadmill in the house. I walk around my yard. I'm trying to build a trail out here around my property, but I got so much to do. That costs too much right now. So, but I do walk around my yard and I walk out to the road and things like that because I want the sun in the mornings. But if it's too hot or anything like that, I just do it in my garage. But y'all, keto saved my life. I'll say ketovore saved my life. And when you say ketovore, it's really just keto because
Yeah.
keto is a protein and a vegetable, but
Protein, fat, and carbs. And you
right.
just got to eat them a certain way.
And that's basically ketovore because you want a fatty cut of meat, which I choose ribeye. And I kill two birds with one stone with the ribeye, the fat and the protein. And then I'll do a leafy green. Sometimes I won't. I'll just eat the meat alone. But the diet now, I just stopped counting calories. I know what I'm doing, but I still use my food scale for like liquid stuff. If I'm doing like heavy whipping cream or butter, I need to know exactly what I'm putting in my food, the exact account. So I'll use my food scale for that. And I log everything. This is 24. I log everything in these bad boys. And I got the 2025 26 one right here. 25 26 one right here, the smaller one.
And then I
So
have mine that you sent me also.
yeah, so it's very,
That's
and
good.
I'll tell you why I use it. Even though we have these digital devices and we're using whatever um my fitness pal, Chrome Mass, or whatever you're using, it's good to take your time and write it down so you can visually see and know what you're doing. It's a mental thing when you write it down. So
Absolutely.
I like to do that. And that's just about it. And like a lot of people say GLP-1 is the easy way out. No, I still had to intermittent fast. It was just that I was a fast responder. I was. I stayed on the starter dose of that and the 2.5 up until I couldn't take it no more. If it wasn't for me passing out, I probably still would take it. Now, another good benefit of that for me was it controlled my high blood pressure. Like I have high blood pressure reading that kids have, like 96 over 60 something and stuff like that. When
Is
I'm
that
off,
Is that
Go
since
ahead.
you have lost weight, or was that during when you were taking your GLP-1?
That's when I was taking my GLP-1, and I've been thinking about doing a smaller dose of the GLP-1 because it really controlled my hypertension. I'd rather do that than to get on a statin because I didn't have any side effects, and it brought me. It helped with hot flashes and all. I mean, it's useful for a lot of things.
It is. It is. Yes, it
So
is.
I'm thinking about maybe in September I'll go back on, but I'm not gonna. I don't want to. I don't want to use the brand name. I'm just gonna do the generic.
Mhm.
That way I can control the amount I want. I don't want the starter dose. I just want to try it with a very low dose to see if that's enough to handle my blood pressure
You can
issues.
have hypertension. Okay.
And I'm just going to keep trying it to see what dose worked for me with that because I'm not going on a stat. I just can't do it. I
Right.
can't.
Okay.
And that's where I stand right now. My weight is 136 this morning. And I'm still working towards my goal. My goal was 125. I was at 128. Then I started eating all this fruit and stuff. So you know, weight loss is a lifelong journey. It
It's a
really
lifelong
is.
journey. It
It
is.
really is. And then, it's up to you, how long you're going to keep repeating the same habits and getting and yielding the same results. And it was that GLP-1 that helped me get off of that hamster wheel. It really
Right.
did. I give it all the credit because after that 5 weeks, I didn't gain any weight. I still lost my weight. I didn't gain any weight back
Okay.
or anything. So I don't have anything bad to say about it. And it definitely is not an easy way out. You still have to work.
You still have to put the work in
You
with those
still have to put the
22 ones.
work in.
Yes, you
Same
do.
with weight loss surgery. You have to put the work in. All these things are tools. It's up to us to maximize those tools. So for me, I'm pro GLP-1 as long as the person, I see people out here on them crying about they didn't lose any weight. Well, the GLP-1 medication is to control your insulin, and weight loss is a side effect of the GLP-1. So,
Yeah, I was gonna say, but
you
you
got
know
to
how
think
we
about
are.
that,
Whenever
you know.
there's something that we find out as human beings, we're gonna hop on it if it has another benefit also.
Hmm.
So, um, I was gonna say you've had a great weight loss journey, and you have gotten some great results. I was gonna hop over to Low Carb Queen. Go
Okay.
ahead and tell us, Low Carb Queen, about your weight loss journey and how you got started on even wanting to lose weight.
Okay. First, let me apologize for being late again. So sorry.
That's fine.
Um, so I've been struggling with my weight for a long time. I just started when having kids, just gaining, losing. And at one point, I think after my second or third child, I was just like, it is what it is. I was married, comfortable, blah, blah, blah. But my weight started, inching up. And so over the years, I hit, 300, and I didn't tell anybody, I cried and everything. And then, I tried to, do that roller coaster, lose some, feel comfortable, gain it back. And then in 2021, I hit 394. And I was just like, kids are grown now, uh, new marriage, whatever. And I just was like, I just cannot go to 400. And I've always been able to carry my weight pretty well. but I think after around a 350, I could really start feeling it. And so I started on Mounjaro at the top of 2022, because in December of 2021, like I said, I hit 394. And so I was on Mounjaro. I mean, not Mounjaro, Ozempic. And I had been blessed because I wasn't diabetic. It was just pre-diabetic. But they went ahead and put me on the Ozempic, and it was working really well. I lost 46 pounds on Ozempic in about 4 to 6 months.
Okay.
And that Ozempic was for diabetes, and the side effect was, weight loss.
Mhm.
And so I probably, when I look back, I wasn't drinking enough water because my doctor had said to me, we're going to have to watch your kidney levels because they're dropping. And so, I always Google, look up, research side effects and stuff like that. So I panicked, when they said my kidney levels were dropping.
Yeah.
So I got off of it. I was like, no, I'm not trading kidneys for fat. I'm just not doing it.
Queen, can I ask a question?
Please, yes.
Now, was the kidney, like the kidney function thing that you're talking about, was that a side effect from the Ozempic?
Yes, that is a viable side effect. But,
Okay.
again, like I said, now this is my own diagnosis, doesn't mean it's accurate. I probably wasn't drinking enough water, because you have to drink a lot of water, period. I've just started,
Right.
just being conscious of drinking, 50 to 64 ounces of water a day. And that's a lot for me.
Yeah.
And so, when I got off of it, God bless you, I literally gained half of that weight back, 23 pounds. And so I struggled trying to not gain all of it back.
Mhm.
So, of course, that had put me in the 50s. And then when I gained half of it back, that put me back in the 70s. So I was creeping back up again. So I started, just trying to do it on my own, weight loss, and then I did the challenge, the 75-day challenge, just doing different things, trying to, get that weight down and at the very least maintain. And then, we have to know what our triggers and stuff are. I've been going through, a lot of things with my husband, who was ill. And so I started to back up. I could see it. I had got down into the 30s, high 30s. And then I started to, like, in 1 week, I must have gained about 7 or 8 pounds, just, stress eating,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, I don't smoke, I don't drink, I eat. When I'm happy, I eat. When I'm sad, I eat.
Yeah, I know.
So I just told my doctor, I was like, look, I got to do something. I cannot go back up. So at that point, I was at 350. And so everybody was talking about Zepbound. I was really skeptical. I was going to do the surgery before, and every time I get ready to do it, something, a friend of mine, or I read about something, with the surgery. And I've known people who have it. And then statistics say, about 50% of the people who get the surgery gain the weight back. So I said, well, let me try Zepbound. And then that's when my doctor had said, well, your insurance will probably pay for Mounjaro. Now, if my understanding is, because now it's used for weight loss, is the trizepatide. It is to help with the diabetes, but it also has a weight loss component. So, for example, Ozempic is strictly for diabetes, and the side effect is weight loss. But Mounjaro is for weight loss as well as controlling your insulin and stuff like that. And I think Zepbound is too, because they're kind of the same. So, and if you Google it, you'll see that trizepatide definitely has the weight loss suppression, the appetite suppression component in it.
Question.
Yes, go ahead.
When you're taking this, since you've done the Mounjaro, the tirzepatide, and have you done the other? But since you've taken these, do they affect your body differently, or they all work the same?
No, they all work the same. So the Mounjaro is a trizepatide as opposed to just
Oh,
strictly for, your
diabetes.
diabetes. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
Let me make
that's
sure
the
I
difference
understand
with the
right.
Manjaro. Yeah. And
Okay,
that's the difference with the Zepbound. And
okay.
so yeah, they don't really affect you any differently. You just have to know your body and be mindful, because when you look at the side effects, different things happen to different people,
Hmm.
based on them. But and then you're like, my body has been accustomed to this weight. It's been accustomed to my eating habits. We don't like to think or believe that the body has a mind of its own, so to speak, but the
Hmm.
body is very smart. So it's been accustomed to me carrying this weight. You know what I mean? And so it is literally fighting me to lose the weight. I mean, the first on the 2.5, when I first started, I think that first week I lost, I can't remember, but it was like upwards of 10 pounds. But after that, I stalled. My body shut down, and I was doing intermittent fasting. But my body recognized, okay, something is happening here. You're losing weight really quickly. So we're going to save every single thing you eat. Okay. We're
Yeah.
going to store this because we don't know
Yeah.
what you're doing.
Mhm.
It sometimes it just feels like, you know it doesn't even recognize the fact that you're eating and it's affecting your heart or something like that. It's just different functions of the body. They do what they do. And so then that's when my dietitian, I had to go see the dietitian and stuff. She was like, you're going to have to switch it up. You can't do intermittent fasting. And I was just like, what? I can't
Hmm.
do intermittent fasting. This has been my lifesaver. Because intermittent fasting will help you lose weight. You will lose weight with intermittent fasting.
Oh
And
yeah.
so, yeah,
Yeah.
that was my lifesaver. She was like, you have to eat breakfast, you have to eat lunch, and you have to eat dinner. And that became very
Mhm.
confusing because when you take the Mujaro, you're full. When you take it, it makes you feel full, period. You have
Oh,
a nagging, full feeling in your stomach.
and that's from the medication.
That's from the medication because it holds the food that you eat in your stomach longer. It slows down the digestive process.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay.
So
That's true.
yeah, you're going to feel full. And so your body is in conflict because if you're used to eating at a certain time, your mind is like, okay, I'm hungry, but your stomach is like, I'm full. There's food in here. So it
Okay.
becomes a conflict. And so, that's when she was saying, you basically are going to have to eat when you're hungry, even though you feel full, you should still eat. You just have to eat smaller portions. And that's, all of it, while it seems like a roller coaster for me, because it is, but all of it is a relearning process. Just like I had said to you before, and I talked about that on my video, you eat what you want to eat, regardless of whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner. You'll eat a protein and a vegetable for
Right.
breakfast, and I'm busy trying to find breakfast food that qualifies for low carbs for breakfast. You know what I mean? And
Right.
but I can just eat whatever I want for breakfast. It doesn't have to be a breakfast food. So it's that conflict. So now that I'm eating breakfast and lunch, hi makeup, makeup.
Makeup mom and son.
Now
Welcome
that
in.
breakfast and lunch, it's kind of forcing me not to eat dinner because I'm just too full. And so the dietitian was saying, well, just, eat something light, even if it's cheese and crackers, eat something light for dinner, which I try to do. I still do a lot of snacking. It is not, like Emre said, it's definitely not a miracle drug because you still have to retrain your body. You have to exercise, and the fact for me is that when I went to a nutritionist years ago, they were saying good weight loss is between 1 to 2 pounds a week if you eat right. Start with a fiber, blah blah blah. Well, on the medication, that's all that people are losing, 1 to 2 pounds a week, which for me means unless you change your diet, then this is just controlling the amount that you can possibly eat, because you still only losing 1 to 2 pounds a week. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
like case in point, like the lady JoJo's journey, sleep and slim down journey, she's from the UK, and they're losing like 6, 7, 10, 12 pounds on Mounjaro, the same thing I'm on. And so I asked her about that. I was like, well, what's going on over there that's not going on over here? But she said, you can't buy like the sweets and things that have a lot of sugar and whatever that they have that's not all natural. You have to pay more money for that over there. You know, you can buy it, but it costs, all of the sweets and stuff are singled out and they cost more money. Go ahead.
I think that that's what they're doing to us right now.
Oh, we lost her. She popped out. Yeah, so they literally cost more money. Go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. I believe that's what they're doing to us right now. Splitting up that, like you said, the stuff that has sugar in it, they're charging us more, or they want to charge us more because they're already doing that. They were already doing that in Washington State. So I was kind of surprised when I moved down to Oklahoma and they were just kind of talking about that. So I think they're just starting to do that everywhere, which I kind of think it's probably good, in a way.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
And maybe it's making its way from the West Coast, because I feel like on this side, on the East Coast, when you try to eat right and get whole foods, like go to Trader Joe's or get your organic foods, they cost more,
Do. They do.
So, maybe it's like trickling down from the West Coast because, it's expensive. I feel like I go to the grocery store at least 2-3 times a week. And that's another thing. When you're buying keto or you're buying low carb, you're buying fresh food, it goes bad. It goes bad quicker,
It does.
and when you're used to buying processed food, you're not used to it going bad.
That's right. That is the difference. I have noticed that too a lot.
But the key to that is I buy my produce, what I can frozen, like the frozen
Yeah.
fruit, the frozen,
Uh-huh.
all the vegetables you can't buy frozen, but I just buy what I want to cook for a day or two, like Keto
Right.
Granny does. Because when
Yeah,
you
that's
walk
how I
in
do
shopping
now.
hall,
Yeah.
she shop
Yeah.
for a few days at a
Yes.
time. So I do that. We all have to go out the house, so it's not a big deal to implement a little stop at the grocery store or have Instacart bring you whatever. And me, with my intermittent fasting, sometimes I'm ADF, so I may be only eating 3 times a week. So it's not a big deal. I learned that over time. We're wasting the produce because when you go to your grocery haul, it's just gonna waste. So
But
I
that's a
just do
training process.
frozen.
That's a training process. You know what I mean? Because
Exactly.
I've been
I had to
used to
learn
it.
it.
Right. I've been
Yep.
used to
I
doing
had to
this over
learn
the
that.
years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we all had to learn. I had to learn that too when I first started because I was doing meal preps for 7 days and food was spoiling. Then I didn't want to eat it for 7 days. Then I cut it down to
Exactly.
5. So now I'm down to 3. 3 works perfectly.
But
Absolutely.
the stuff that we can buy in bulk, like turmeric, ginger, beets. I eat beets, guys. I do. I put it in my morning smoothie. I love it. So I use a beet, but I control the amount of beet I put in there. Um, the produce that we can buy that's not going to spoil, I don't have a problem with it. But like buying all this lettuce and green leafy food like spinach in the
Yeah,
package, all that stuff is going to spoil. And like you one person and you can't eat it all. You
that's
may
right.
think you're going to eat this the rest of the week. Like you said, Keto Granny,
Right.
after you eat it one or 2 times, you don't want it no more. So
No.
it's a waste.
Right.
Hmm. Yeah, so all of us see all of that for me is a learning process, which, again, you got to retrain your mind, you got to retrain your appetite, you got to retrain your body. You know what I mean? And I'm doing this in my 60s. You know what
Right.
I'm saying?
Yeah,
So,
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
it's
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah. We
All of
all
us.
in the old.
I
We
think we
all in
all
the
were
old
there.
lady
Yes,
thing.
yes.
As they say, it's hard to teach an old dog new tricks. I'm talking about myself.
Hey,
So
but
I'm
we're learning. We're learning, and that's what's
exactly, you're
good
never
about
too
it. We're
old to
all in the
learn.
learning process.
Yeah, it's never too old.
Okay.
So I'm trying my best to make it work. And then getting out of that mindset of, okay, well, this is how I reward myself. I'm gonna eat something. I'm gonna, reward myself with food. That's a difficult one as well. But I'm working on it, and definitely not being too hard on myself, because we want it quick. We want the quick,
Right,
you
right.
know.
We do. We
And
want it
so,
quick.
it's taken me 3 years to get 60 pounds off of me, but 3 years, it doesn't matter. It's still, it's still a process, and it's still gone.
Right, right, right,
And I don't want it to come back. So I'm
right.
But
still,
believe it or not, I think Keto Granny and I have been on that same cycle. I met Keto Granny in 2020, I think.
Was it 2020?
And
Okay.
2020 or
I started to
2018,
say
one of them.
2019, but yeah,
Yeah,
it's
one of
somewhere
those.
around there, 2019 or
And
2020.
it's the same thing. I've been trying to get out of the 180s all that time, but I would get out of it. I'll lose maybe 20, 25 pounds, and boom, here it goes again.
Right,
Nothing worked for me like the GLP-1. It just clicked. It just clicked. It worked. And when I started in May of 2024, and once I had to stop for medical reason for the hypoglycemia, it never came back. I
that was
continuously
good.
lost the weight.
That's what you
But
said.
which one were you
what
on? Excuse me. I'm sorry.
my doctor gave me a prescription for Zepbound, but my insurance
Okay.
company said no. So I just used the tirzepatide,
Okay. Okay.
the
You use the
starter
generic.
dose of that.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
used that, and I
Mhm.
was a fast responder. Like I said, I lost 30 pounds in 5 weeks,
Yeah,
and
that was
then I
good.
started passing out. I was a real fast responder. I had no side effects, anything. So I had
Yeah,
to give it up.
I
But it
haven't had
took
any.
me,
I'm
go
sorry.
ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Yeah, but it took me, okay, 5 weeks out of the year, that whole year to get down to 128.
Yeah,
It
I
was
see.
just the process. It's never quick. Weight loss is never quick.
No, it's
Yeah.
not. I was
So,
going to ask. So, when you took that terzipatide,
mhm,
what were you? How much did you lose in that 5 week time frame? Do you
I
know?
lost, yeah, I lost 30 pounds.
You lost
I
30
lost
pounds.
exactly 30 pounds.
But you
Okay.
And
were
then
probably you were doing keto as well, weren't you?
I was doing keto and
Yeah.
intermittent fasting, and
And
I was
still
walking.
fasting, right?
Yeah, because
Yep.
that's what happened when I did Ozempic. I was doing keto. When I first did Ozempic, I was doing keto for real, and I lost
Hmm.
that 46 pounds. But it took me a few months. But yeah, and see, that's the
Okay.
difference. I'm sorry, that's the
No, go
difference
ahead.
between eating what you normally eat on the GLP-1 and going still using some type of diet or weight loss on the GLP-1, because you'll lose
Hmm.
it. I know I'll lose it quicker if I do like a strict keto or low carb or something like
Hmm.
that. It'll drop off. But the GLP-1 unfortunately can make some people comfortable to say, well, it's going to do the work for me, so I can just eat what I normally eat. And it definitely is not. Hey, Kendi K.
Hello, Kenny K. Welcome in.
It's,
Yeah, I feel like they don't get
It's
the
Miss V.
lesson behind the GLP-1. Just because the GLP is curbing your appetite and slowing your digestion, when the next week come and they're not losing, they upset. So they're
yeah,
not putting
no, I
any work
was.
in. They're not learning any lessons about their body, how their body work on this GLP-1. It's a valuable thing,
Well,
because
weight
it
loss
really,
tool, I guess I could use it as.
Yeah,
yes,
you,
it
effectively.
it quieting your mind. You don't hear, like, in the past, without it, we'll eat something and the refrigerator is calling us. 5 minutes after we ate that thing, the refrigerator is like, oh, it's some cherries in there. Go eat that. But on the GLP-1, it's not doing that. The food noise is quieting all those bad habits we have.
But see, and
So
I'm sorry if
go
I can
ahead, go ahead.
interject. That's tricky because when you take it, you get the shot once a week. And when you
Hmm.
start getting close to the time for that shot again, if you haven't been practicing some type of discipline, what I'm learning about myself is that that food noise gets louder and louder, and I wake up like my shot is on Wednesday. I wake up Monday morning, I'm like, yeah, what can I eat? I want to eat this, I want to eat that. So you know, I, I've even watched some channels where people have taken the shot earlier because of the
That
food
food.
noise. You know what I mean? So it definitely has to transform into better eating habits, and that it's also why initially the doctors were titrating people up so quickly. I was grateful that my doctor waited. I was on 2.5,
Hmm.
seemed like forever, for about 2 months, but I had to get that constipation under control. So,
Right.
because, for me, it was a high level of constipation. But some people titrate up so quickly, like once a month, because that food noise keeps coming, and I felt like, okay, this is my second month on 7.5. And that's what I said to my weight loss management PA. I was like, I need to titrate up because right now 7.5 is not doing it anymore. But this is the irony of it, Keto Granny. This is the irony. You still feel that full feeling in your belly.
Even though you dealing with the food noise, or if you're not
Yes.
dealing with that food
Yes,
noise,
you
it sounds
still
like that's
feel
the way I
that. You
took it.
still you still feel that in your belly. And like she said, it's the same thing as if you wasn't on it. Like, oh well, I just ate, but it's some cherries in the refrigerator. You know what I'm
Right, right,
saying?
right. I
When
was
that
gonna say, yeah, it seems to me like it still affects people's bodies. How I want to, according to that person, it's still gonna be. It's not gonna affect everybody the same way. Is what I have come to a conclusion as far as the GLP-1s. And I don't believe it's an easy way out. I believe it's a way of calming the food noise or helping people cope with that. And I only say that because I still see people having to put in the work. They're still doing the exercise. They're still
Hmm.
eating a certain way as far as their prioritizing their protein, or however they're eating, prioritizing their fat, however they're eating. But I see them putting in the work as far as eating healthy meals, the same thing I do with keto. I see them putting in the exercise, the same thing as I do with keto. I see the scale going up and down, the same thing that happens with keto. So keto and intermittent fasting, exercise, um, for me that works great. But I also see a lot of great things that are going on with the GLP-1s. I can see how they would be a benefit for myself as far as if I needed something to go ahead and like push me, give me that little bit of edge that I need to say, oh, okay, here I go, But this week I did basically, I'm gonna say I went back to clean keto, and I did that basically off and on since June the, let me look on my board here because I keep it in front of me, since July the 8th. And then as of yesterday, I got on a scale and I was 8.8 pounds down. And that was
wow.
basically just from changing the way that I eat and getting more serious, getting cleaner with my diet. And
That's
that helped me
awesome.
lose. And that was like what, 10 days,
Mhm.
8.8 down. But I went there just now. I told my husband, I said, take a picture of me. I'm gonna go ahead and put it up. I told him, take a picture of me because I feel like I lost some weight. And he says, no, I can't tell. So this as of this morning, that's how I had gotten down.
Great.
And
Yeah.
I thought that that was very good. I told him from the way I have been feeling this week and how bloated I have been feeling. And that's now that's an old picture of me. But I told him, I said, hey, I feel good this morning.
Yeah.
And
You look
that's
great.
8.8 pound weight loss. So I'm very, very happy of that. And I wanted to share that. And that's
Yeah, she looks great there.
She does. She
Absolutely.
does. That waist is
Yes.
coming in. Her muscles are popping.
And another thing, people don't talk about when you're on that GLP-1. I see your arms too. Another thing people don't talk about is
I
which my
got some
doctors
muscle. Look at that.
said.
My little muscle.
My doctor was like, you have to have protein or else you're going to lose all your muscle. We were
That's
talking about
right.
how good you look, Keto Granny. That you look good, you know. But people don't, you're gonna lose your muscle first, which is why people call it the Ozempic butt and the Ozempic face, because
Right.
you lose that muscle. So that's what my PA was saying. You have to you have to do strength training and you have to do protein.
Yep.
It's just no question about it. You're gonna have to do it, or else you're gonna be looking a hot mess. She didn't say that, but that was my interpretation.
Can y'all
Okay.
see that?
Let me
Can
see.
y'all see that?
Yeah.
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 That's
Your
me.
highest was 192? Wow.
That's you.
Yes. And that's me
192
at
on one
120,
and
Oh, wow.
124 on the other, something like that. It says
128.
128.
128.
128.
And you were 192 on the first one?
That's
Wow.
me. That's
Yeah.
where I started at.
Super.
Yeah. See, that's great. Great.
That is.
I
That is.
unbig that big back.
That's what I'm working on. I'm big in my back. And
Hey,
that's why I
y'all.
keep hurting myself, is trying to unbig my back because I got a
Y'all.
little tater cup
Okay.
here.
I want to ask you guys something, right? You
Uh-huh.
see that picture of me with my back looking like that? Why
Uh-huh.
nobody don't say anything to us when they see us like that? Because we can't see ourselves when we in
You
it.
did.
We don't see ourselves like
I
that.
know my back be looking
But
like that.
the people around us, they know. But now all of a sudden everybody have something to say about, oh, you too small, you losing too weight, you sick, you this, you that. But when I was unhealthy and at my biggest, nobody said a word.
Yeah.
Why?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That happens.
That's
Yeah.
valid. That's very valid. Because we're used to being, in this community and culture, we're used to being, a little healthy, a little on the thick side, you know what I mean? And like you said, don't too many people, say anything. I mean, y'all may have heard me say this before. I was my first marriage, I was married for 30 years, almost 30
Mhm.
months. Yeah, and when I was going to get the weight loss, my husband said, "Look, I have never," because his reputation was he liked thick girls. Even though we got married at 19, he was like, "I've never complained about your weight." He said, "But what you're not going to do is come in here with no sagging skin." It was like so. So
Okay.
I didn't get it because
Yeah.
I was like, and
Okay.
back then, that was over 20 years ago. That was definitely cosmetic surgery, and even when I talked about it, my discussing with my doctor, she was like, well, your insurance will pay for it if it turns into something medical like rashes or and I was like, so this is my literal self. I was like, so you mean to tell me I'm gonna have to get a rash before y'all gonna remove the skin after I lose the weight? Because some people would get like
Right.
sores and stuff like that.
Right.
You mean like this?
Right.
I'm getting
Well,
this
yeah, but that's
taken
not
off.
that's not a rash, though. You
No, you don't
understand
have
what
a
I'm
rash
saying?
or nothing.
So yeah, you were gonna have to get a
No,
rash. I was like,
I
no,
gotta
I
pay
can't.
for it.
Exactly. If it don't have a rash, you can insurance is not gonna pay for it.
Mm-mm. Yeah.
Okay. So, ladies, you all have shared some great information and information this morning. And I have a couple questions I want to ask each of you, just like based on our diets. One of the main reasons for this was to show everyone, even though we have different ways that we go about it, we all have the same end result, and that is weight loss, getting healthier. And we're doing that. We're all doing it in each of our ways. I'm using keto. Emre is using keto and fasting. Low carb queen, you're using GLP-1s, but you're also using like your nutrition and the way that you're eating. So, but we're all reaching the same result, which is weight loss and getting healthier. So,
Right.
for let's see, for ketovore fasting, I want to ask what inspired you to combine ketovore with fasting, and how did that combination affect your energy and your results when you first started dieting?
Well, one thing about me is I'm quick to jump on a bandwagon, a diet bandwagon. I am. So I was I started my weight loss journey, let's say back in 2006.
Mm-hmm.
Atkins, what's that? Atkins
Yes,
diet?
Atkins,
that's
Atkins
talking,
diet, yeah,
honey.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Atkins diet. I started with
Yes.
Atkins too. Yeah, back then.
So I'm from old school Atkins, and so I was kind of used to it. Then when keto came along, I am a traditional keto. I'm 20 total carbs or less. I
That's
don't
good.
do net carbs. Now, when I eat my fruit and stuff in the summertime, you might as well say I'm low carb because I'm eating my fruit. But the keto just clicked with me because I came from the Atkins world. So it worked. It was simple for me to do. And once I realized that something else was happening to me, that the inflammation was leaving my body. I could make fists. I could, I didn't have
Right,
the joint uh, discomfort and things. I knew I wanted to stay with keto because it was healing my body from the inside out, as
right.
well as the weight loss. But when the carnivore community came, well, when I found the carnivore community, I kind of liked that too. And the
Yeah,
fact that they was totally ribeye and all like that. So I jumped on that and I realized that I was missing my spinach and my kale and things like that. So they just naturally came together, keto and carnivore. They just merged together to me.
yeah.
And in fact, I just think is keto itself is
It's healing,
I
isn't
don't
it?
want I don't want to say it's carnivore, but it's ketovore is keto. That's
Yeah.
what I want to say because it's a vegetable and a
A
protein.
protein,
I
yeah.
think that vor comes
Yeah,
in what with carnivore, and then the keto part comes in with the veggies.
right.
Combine the two, so they call it
So
keto vor.
that's how those two merge for me, and I like it. I think I'm like seasonal. I think in the summertime, I just want to be low carb because I want to eat my my fruit, some
Right, right.
summer fruit. I really do. But in the fall and winter, I'm more carnivore. I'll just do one meal a day with a big ribeye or something like that. And I really don't eat. Um, Either I'm eating 3 days a week or I'm eating 4 days a week because of my intermittent fasting. So that's how it works for me. And
Right. Okay.
now, y'all don't get it wrong. I'm gonna eat some cake when I want to. I'm gonna
Right,
eat some
right,
of this when I want to.
right,
I, but when I do it, I compensate for it. I may do an extended fast, a 36-hour fast, or something like that. I get that mess out of my body because I immediately feel it, like the flour and stuff. I feel it in my hands and stuff. It's no better feeling than the freedom of my
right.
hands moving
Being
the way they're
inflammation
supposed to
free.
move.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah.
So I do it, but I know I'm gonna have a repercussion behind it. So I do it with the fact of the matter is I know I'm gonna do an intermittent fast to get it out of me immediately. Or, I may do a weekend of I want some real bread or my burger or something like that. I'll have it instead of the keto bread. I want a real hamburger bun.
Right,
I'll
right,
I'll have it. But I plan all that stuff.
right.
So if
And
I'm
like you
if
say, Go ahead. You have to compensate for it.
Right. If it's the weekend, I'm gonna do all that. Then Monday morning, you better believe. Whenever I stop eating that Sunday, then I'm doing a 36-hour fast reset. That's just how what I do, and it works for me. And
Well,
it takes time to get there. You're not gonna get there overnight. Everybody can't do that. Intermittent fasting is a phase. You do it in phases,
well,
to get up to wherever you want to be. But those
I
are the
want to
things
say
that work
when
for me.
I grow up, I want to be just like you.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. That's why I said we have 3 different ways of eating here. And
Y'all,
she is the clean eater with the
I really
keto.
do
And
eat
you have
clean,
great
y'all.
results if you can eat
I
clean keto all the time.
I eat
Now I have a
clean.
question for you. Um, mm, Low carb queen, I think. How did your relationship with food evolve while on GLP-1s? Did your hunger cues or cravings change?
Okay. Let me say, I've been struggling with the whole meat situation, first of
Mm-hmm.
all, because, I stopped eating meat in 2024 for about I lasted until May.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was missing protein and I was struggling trying to replace protein. And so I started eating it again. But this is the problem, like Emre said, when you clean, because immediately within 3 days of me stopping eating meat, especially chicken, I could feel it. I could tell the difference. The mucus in my throat was gone. I mean, it was amazing. And that's where my struggle is, because I struggle with trying to get protein. So now I'm not eating meat every day. I'm not eating all kinds of meat. And I'm definitely not eating meat 3 times a day, like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But it never fails. Like, I ate so much chicken this past weekend. If you saw my last video, it was ridiculous. We went to the local chicken store and got like a 20 piece,
Mm-hmm.
but
Hmm.
it never fails. When I eat that chicken, inflammation. And that's what I wanted to ask about the carnivore too. Or is chicken included in that? So I really have to find like a clean chicken or something, because it just never fails. When I eat chicken, I get inflammation and mucus. Doesn't happen with turkey. I don't really eat pork that much anymore. Now, I never thought I could give up bacon, but
Uh-huh.
when I eat pork, most of the time, like I ate some ribs when I went to the farmer's market, I instantly got a headache. I mean, instantly. So I have to be mindful of the pork that if I try to eat pork, and beef doesn't really bother me, but I don't eat it that much, but I miss it. I miss a good ribeye. My goodness.
Yeah.
I'm sure
Ooh, nothing like a ribeye.
miss it. And I'm
Yeah.
about to go to Philly soon and get a missing a cheese steak and all of that. So I
Hmm.
struggle. It's not hard for me to not eat the bread and stuff like that. Like you said, every now and then, if you want to get that. So and your question was, has it changed? Has it changed, or how has it changed? It's definitely changed. It's changed in terms of being acknowledging the amount that you eat. You know what I mean? Because
Right.
when for me, as a big girl, you don't even think about how much you eat. Like I was saying, like I go get a salad from Publix and I put that salad in a bowl. That's a big salad. But on the
Right.
GLP-1, I was really forcing myself to try to eat that whole salad. I could cut that salad in half and eat half for lunch and half for dinner, because I end up too full. And once you stop eating till you're full, when you go back to that, like, that's a miserable feeling that you now recognize. That's for me. When I go, once I stopped eating until I was just like, oh, then once you go back to that, every now and then, or whatever you do, it's a feeling that you don't like. It's like you now recognize, like, this was the norm previously, the Thanksgiving norm. But now it is so uncomfortable. Like you like, no, don't want to do it, can't do it. Don't have no desire to do this again. Okay. Downsides to Diva. Hey, Living Water with Sister Glenda. Hey.
Yes.
So
Welcome. Let me see who's on here over in the chat. We have Downsizing Diva. She says, let me go ahead and just put these up on the screen. She's saying hello to Low Carb Queen, Downsizing Diva. We have Living Water with Sister Glenda. Thank you so much for being here. And Maddie Bear, yes. Maddie Bear was with me yesterday while I was out walking on my live, and I walked up on a dead snake. That was so scary. Oh man, I jumped so far. I actually walked up on the snake, and when I realized how far I had jumped back, and I looked, I said, boy, I couldn't believe I jumped back that far after I reviewed my live. Then welcome in. We also have, is it Hargerine Annette? Welcome in. There's Kendi K all day. We have, let's see, Isthmus V. We have, let's see, Makeup Mom and Son. Let's see, who else is here? Stephanie 57 Journey. We have a lot of people who came in today, and I want to thank everybody. I want to thank everyone and those in the bushes who are watching also. Stephanie says she hopes everyone is doing well, but wanted to acknowledge everyone who's here. Let me see. Now I have another question. In terms of eating, okay, this one will be for Imre. How does a typical day look now in terms of eating, movement, and mindset since you have basically reached your goal? Now I know that you're getting ready to schedule the surgery soon. So want you just a little bit about that.
Okay. I just wrote a question in the chat. I wrote in the chat if anyone was interested in me uploading a video of my loose skin. I should have said put a one in the chat, but I didn't say that one. I just said let me know. My loose skin surgery was scheduled for April, but I had a medical emergency. I was passing out again. They thought I was having a heart attack or a stroke, and they admitted me in the hospital. And it was vertigo.
Oh, wow.
But my surgeon and my doctor did not want me to go under anesthesia until I had a full 90 days with no episodes of vertigo. So I just decided, so far I just had a few episodes after that. But what I decided to do was wait until the first of the year because my memory kicked in. Last time I was scheduled, when I lost my 180 pounds, initially back in 2008.
Wow.
Yes, you late low carb queen. I was 301.
She started out 300 and something pounds.
301 pounds.
Oh,
I lost
wow.
180 pounds back in 2008. But I had my money and everything ready to have my surgery, but mentally I wasn't ready. But over time, my skin tightened back. It didn't tighten all the way back up, but it tightened up. That's why when you see this loose skin, this is not just from how many pounds did I lose? Since 51 pounds since the GLP-1 is 51 pounds. And all this is not just from that. It's a combination of whatever I lost recently, and that probably was already
all
like
of it.
that.
Right.
So, but I noticed that my skin kind of taut up a little bit. So I'm just going to wait till the end of the year and give my body a chance to catch up with itself, and I'll take care of it then. I know I have loose skin, and my girls, they just ran away.
I know. You were laughing about that.
Girl, I'm all flat chested. I'm flat
Well, I wish some of mine would run away. I wouldn't mind at all.
Hello. Hello.
Not at all.
Yeah, I'm gonna have some procedures. So this is like this one, my the brachioplastic and breast will be my first thing to go. And fortunate for me, I don't really have a stomach, but
Yeah, you don't have
I'm
no food pie,
lucky
so
with
you're
that.
lucky.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm
Yeah.
lucky. But I got y'all. I said, let me know in the chat if y'all want to see this mess.
Man, I put my one in there. I put a one in. I want to
Yeah,
see.
she already put
Put
her
a
one
one
in
in the
there.
chat.
I showed you the one because I wanted you to know she wants you to do that video.
Put a one in the chat, and I'll make it for you guys, and it'll be up. I'll make it on Monday. But look, I'm not leaving it up. I don't leave up no videos. Okay, that's why it's none over there. I leave it up for like 24, 24 hours, and then I take it down. I'm just being honest. So
She's
look
good
out
about
for
that.
it Monday, but it's coming down 24 hours
She's
later.
good about that. Sometimes I don't even get to see the video. I have to call and say, okay, I didn't get to see the video. You need to let me see the video.
Yeah,
That's funny.
but yeah, no, it ain't funny though.
Okay.
Now, people
It's a good
say,
trade-off. Isn't it a good
yeah,
trade-off?
but you can see my little muscle here. I got plenty muscle, but I got all that too.
So
So,
she did a good job on her. She did a good job. She does a
Yeah.
good job with her fasting. She's the one that has encouraged me whenever I was doing my alternate day fasting. Me and her would be doing it together because it was much easier for me to do it with her because she's always checking on me and say, okay, what you doing now? All right, drink you some water, do this, do that. But she
That's
was
awesome.
always so encouraging with me on alternate day fasting. Actually, she's the one that actually taught me how to do the 36-hour fast. How could be able to add in like a 500 calorie snack if I had
girl,
to.
excuse me to be after that.
Oh, and then also, then I learned myself that I could eat things like cucumbers, and that doesn't count as a calorie content or anything. So it was a good way for me to have really adding some food in while I was doing alternate day fasting. But she taught me a lot about
Okay.
the alternate day fasting also. So we can all learn from each other and encourage one another just to keep going. This is something that I'm going to be doing every Saturday morning at 11 o'clock, trying to have guests on
That's
where we all can
good.
come over here and
Yeah.
talk about our weight loss journey, what's going on, encourage one another. Some of the same guests all of the time, but then also new guests. So that, and if anyone wants to, you have any questions that you have for us in the audience, please list them over in the comments so that we can answer them for you, because that's what we're here for. We want to share our journeys to let you know what works for us, what hasn't worked for us, and what we're doing in order to be more successful and to get where we're going, and also where we're at in our journey. So let's see. Now, I think I have one more question for Low Carb Queen. What routines or support systems have helped you maintain progress besides using the medication? What type of support system do you have?
To be honest with you, YouTube is a great support system.
Mm-hmm.
I
It is.
mean, I have my daughters in here, they encourage me, but they're, it's family, so they cannot be deprived. So when they bring in, snacks or food or cakes or whatever, it's a temptation. And a lot of times I give in, but I can't hold them hostage, So, but the YouTube community, the support that you get from the weight loss community and from the GLP-1 community, I mean, it helps me be accountable. Absolutely. Because I'm one of the people like, hey, it is what it is. I don't care. Like, if I get in my mood, then I'm in my mood. But it helps you.
It does.
People encouraging you. It's and I may never get to meet people in person, but I do want to let each and every person know. Because sometimes I'm watching channels, and I'm in the bush. Sometimes I'll be in the bushes, like
Yeah, I'm the same way.
Yeah, I do
I'm
that
watching.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah, sometimes I'll be watching on my TV. Tracy's a Twine. I'll be watching her, but
right,
like
right,
different ones I watch. But it's very, very encouraging.
right.
It's
She has she's doing very, very good with her weight loss journey.
Oh, she
Mhm.
is.
Yes, she
She
is.
really
Yeah,
is. Yep.
yeah.
And it just like what I've learned also is that it's going to take, and I think Emra, you said this too, where it'll just be a shift. You know what I'm saying? Like you could be on this journey for a couple of years, or whatever, and then it'll shift, and then
Right,
your body will get used to, okay, you're losing some weight. You're not eating. You're intermittent fasting, so we're going to take you down 3 or 4 pounds. My
right,
body hasn't shifted yet. It hasn't accepted this transformation that I'm trying to make. But you have to keep going. And that's why I say on my channel, every day is a new beginning. Like I've learned from the community and even from my own experience, just don't stop. Don't get so
right,
defeated. Don't get so upset with yourself because you binge ate or ate some chips or whatever. Just don't stop. Keep
right.
going. And so
That's right.
that's
And,
what and when I
and
ran into your channel, Keto Granny, because I was like, oh, because she put on her channel 67, lost 100 pounds. I'm like, okay, God, I had no
I thought that wasn't possible at my age to lose that much weight, but
you and me
God is
both.
mhm.
good, and like I say, um, I'm never gonna give up on me, and I always tell people that never give up on yourself. Keep going no matter what, because you can reach your goals. You'll get there. Just be
Yeah.
consistent. Consistency is the key. When you fall off, get up and start again. That's all you have to do.
Low carb queen, I gotta tell you something.
Uh-huh. Tell me.
Sometimes I sometimes I was so mad with you. I'm like, oh no, she gonna give us them daggone sweets. I'ma turn the channel. And then I'm sitting up there looking at the recipe. I'm like, try that. But I get so upset with you. I'm just telling the truth. I'm like,
It's okay.
what
It's
the
okay.
heck? Leave them desserts alone. I'm like,
I have
I'm
a
tired of
terrible
you with
sweet
the
tooth.
dessert.
I
But
have
the
a
Yeah,
thing,
terrible,
but
terrible
the
sweet
thing,
tooth.
but the thing I appreciate about you is you keep going.
right,
You keep going. You're not
Thank you.
giving up on yourself. So that's
Mm-mm.
the thing that I love about you that keep me engaged with you. I'm
Thank
like,
you.
I'm
right,
there
right.
supporting you. And
Thank
you
you.
went there with those
I have
cookies.
But
been watching Low Carb Queen too, and I have seen you come a long,
Long
long
way.
way. You
thank you.
have Low Carb Queen, and I
Look, it's a
support you
journey.
so, so much.
Thank you. Well, that's what I say about my channel. Like, look, if you want to see a real journey, because most of the weight loss channels that I used to watch was like, they were saying after the fact.
Right,
I
right.
done lost you. Well, you're not telling me how you did it.
What
You're not
happened during
telling
that
me, right.
process?
You're not showing me the high because we all know weight loss is not easy. If it was
Mm-mm.
easy, everybody be true. Everybody would be doing it. So it's
Right, right,
not easy. So I'm like, you want to come over here and you want to see a real journey, roller coaster, highs, lows. You're gonna see it all
right,
because when I get there, and I know I'm going to get there
right,
I've
Mm-hmm.
got 40 pounds. Is it 40? Yeah, I got 40 pounds. I'm trying to do 40 pounds by the end of the year. Then I will be 100 pounds down.
Damn.
right,
I'm
right.
trying
So
to get
that's
to my
great.
two. So when I get there, you'll be able to see that, oh, this was a real journey. She struggled.
Right,
Mm-hmm.
right, right. So, you all, this was very, very informative. I hope that we have given you all some information. Now, what would each one of you, like to leave with our audience to let them know um, encouraging words from you? I'll let you go first this time, Low Carb Queen.
Okay. I just would like we were just saying, don't give up. You know, the his the scripture, his mercies are new every morning. That's why I say every day is a new beginning. Just
Mm-hmm.
that's
It
my
is.
thing. Just don't give up, because it took a long time for me to get to this size. So I can't expect a quick fix to get off of it. I've got to change, like I said, habits and everything. So just keep going and find a community that really provides support.
Right.
That's my final words. Oh,
Okay.
thank you,
Okay.
Miss
All right.
Lee.
All right, M. Ray.
Okay, I'm going to echo what Low Carb Queen said, but also you will know when you've had enough, and then you will take action and find your own way, because everybody's way to weight loss is a different road, but we have the
Absolutely.
same destination. So don't be hard on yourself if you slip and fall, and don't be so regimented. Everybody can't do 75 hard. Everybody can't do straight
That's
keto. If you
right.
can't do that, do dirty keto. It's the
Right.
same destination at the end.
Yeah.
So don't be hard on yourself. When you start out in the week and you want to do whatever, do it. If you fall, make the next thing you eat the same meal plan you had in mind before. So we're going to slip, we're going to fall, we're going to eat cake, we're going to eat ice cream. But no, this stuff is not healing your body. It's not going to get you to where you want to go. And when you accept and realize that and accept it, you'll start making the moves you need to do to be on the right track. Thank you
Okay.
guys. I love everybody.
All right,
Thank
y'all. I
you,
hope that
Keto
you
Granny. Thank you for
join
having
our show. Oh, thank you all for joining me this morning. And like I said, we'll see you next Saturday at 11 o'clock. Everybody have a great day. Stay blessed. And remember, at the end of the day, all that really matters is that your loved ones are well, you've done your best, and that you're thankful for all that you have.
Thank you, Keto Granny. Bye
Thank
bye,
you.
chat.
Bye,
Bye bye,
everybody.
low carb
Bye-bye,
queen.
Ray.
How do you get off of here?